an edited book by Megan Daum. I can't say that word. I cannot say edited. Edited. I think that's correct, but it sounds like it's not real, like a fake word. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy. Today I'm going to be doing my nonfiction November wrap-up. So if you want to see the books that I read to celebrate nonfiction, then go ahead and just keep on watching. The first book that I tried to read off my nonfiction November TBR was The Magic Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Sarah Knight. Unfortunately, I DNF'd this book. This book just was not for me. To be honest, I felt like I was given all the information I needed to know within the first couple chapters, and I really just didn't enjoy her humor or voice in this book, so I put it down. It wasn't for me, and so I just moved on. And the next book that I picked up, I absolutely loved. It's probably gonna be one of my favorite books of this year, and that is Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. And it's a funny book about horrible things, and these horrible things specifically being the mental illnesses in which Jenny Lawson suffers from. I have done a review on this book, so I'm not gonna rattle on about it anymore, but I will link that up here for you all. 5 out of 5 star read. Pick it up if you haven't read it. I promise you it's worth your time and it will have you laughing. The next book that I got to as far as nonfiction goes was Selfish, Shallow, and Self-Absorbed, 16 Writers on the Decision Not to Have Kids, compiled by Megan Daum. Olive from A Book Olive recommended this book, and I will link the video down below in which she talks about it. I really enjoyed reading this book. As a preschool teacher, children and having children is largely on my radar, and I was really curious to see what these writers had to say and to learn a different perspective, because my husband and I do hope to have children, and that didn't change for me reading this book, but I really enjoyed reading about other people's experiences and decisions in which they do not want children. And I think everyone should read this book. I'm likely to do a review on this book because I think it's important and it should be talked about, and I think we should have a discussion about it. So watch out for a discussion video from me, because there are lots of thoughts to be thought on this book, and I would love to know your guys' opinion as well. But I definitely recommend it. I would say pick it up whether you think you want kids or not, or you know you want kids, or you know you don't want kids. This book is interesting. It's going to make you think, and there are great discussions in this book. So absolutely recommend. 4 out of 5 stars from me. Now, those are the only 2 nonfiction books that I managed to read in their entirety this month, but I'm okay with that because I don't read a lot of nonfiction, and I really do enjoy it, as this month obviously showed me. So I plan on picking it up more in the future, but I did mention a couple other books in my TBR that I want to talk about and my experience with them this month. The first of which is the Read Aloud Handbook by Jim Trelease. This is the 7th edition and the final edition that he will be doing himself as far as updating it. This book was originally published in the early 80s, and this book is exactly what it sounds like. It's a book about the importance of reading aloud to children and how it can affect them in a very positive way. And I picked this book up and started reading it, and the introduction, in which is about 20 pages, I got 12 pages in, had wanted to mark up several passages already, and just decided to put it down and order it for myself. Because as a preschool teacher, I feel like this book is going to be a wonderful resource to have on hand all the time. And as this is a library book, I would have to return it, and it is more than slightly frowned upon to write in library books. I decided to order it for myself. It's actually back here behind me. I just pulled this one because it was easier access. And so I tried to read this book, decided I wanted a copy of my own, and so I put it down. So I hope to pick up this book very soon, and hopefully you will hear my thoughts on it, but I have no doubt it will be wonderful. And this book also has the latter half, and by latter half I mean the second half of the book. That was completely redundant. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen, okay guys? Is just a bunch of recommendations. It's a treasury of good books to read aloud to children of all ages. So if you have children, if you're an educator, I highly recommend this book. I haven't read it yet, but I know it's going to be wonderful, and I've only heard amazing things about it. The last book in which I mentioned in my TBR was The Importance of Being Little by Erica Christakis, which is what young children really need from grown-ups. And again, I started this book and it is really, really good. I'm not very far into it as of yet. I'm about 75 pages in, but as I was reading this book, as most of you know, I generally read one book at a time. That's just how I read. But this book has so much information in it and so much that needs to be processed and that I want to take to heart so that I can utilize it in my classroom. I decided to slow down while reading this book so that I have time to percolate and think about it and really just get a grasp on what this book has to tell me and educate me about. So I was also reading this book in the month of November. I did not finish it, and I plan on continuing to read it, absolutely, without a doubt. This book is so very important about how our society has put these specifications and testing and statistics on children in order for them to be the best of the best, and how it is actually harming them, and how we can give them what they need honestly through play and allowing them to be curious children. So I think this is going to be a wonderful book. I've absolutely adored and marked up a ton. You probably can't tell because they're yellow tabs, because there's so much great information in here, and I'm really excited that I did finally pick it up and hope to finish it within the next month or so. But like I said, going to be taking my time with this one. There you have it, you guys. Those are the nonfiction reads and kind of half reads that I had this month. What nonfiction did you guys get to this month? Please tell me about it. And if you had any wonderful reads, please recommend, because I really do enjoy reading nonfiction and I need to not forget about it. But if you guys liked this video, please like it. And if you loved it, please subscribe, and we'll see you in my next video. Happy reading.